Thank you for joining me in this speed build of a shell of what I hope to turn into a community center sooner than later. So recently I've been experimenting a lot with more modern builds. I've been experimenting a lot with builds that don't really make sense in The Sims 4 because they are not a real thing. So, like for example, a community center, it's not really something that it like exists in the game, but I just really just kind of wanted to sort of make something like that. And I've also been trying to play around with like the curved walls and everything. It's interesting that we have that in the game, and I want to do more with them, even though they are so difficult to work with. So I've had this image in my mind for a while now of this curved wall sort of opening up to an outdoor garden. And making outdoor gardens that are just kind of like inside of like a home, kind of, is very difficult because the game always wants to enclose anything that's surrounded by walls. And if you try to tell it, no, actually it's open to the outside, it'll consider the entire floor open to the outside or something very strange like that. Like it'll light all the rooms even if they're all enclosed. It's really bizarre. But anyway, and also this build came out a little bit more narrow than I was expecting it to, which may also cause some problems when I try to furnish it. But I'm thoroughly pleased with how the shell came out regardless. Another reason why I've been making shells in more modern builds is because they take a shorter amount of time. I've been kind of busy with work recently. I haven't had as much time to dedicate to the channel as I would have hoped over the past month or so. So these are just some quick builds that I can sort of get out there, but also fun at the same time. Things that I might be able to share on the gallery, for example, for people to enjoy. There a lot of people, don't mind like building, but not everybody's so good at it, and some people just want to furnish. So I hope to be able to make some nice shells for people to enjoy. Some of the shells I've done, I've actually been able to furnish, and I hope to get those posted soon. But in the meantime, you can see that the game keeps trying to close. It keeps trying to make it like a full floor, but I'm like, game, I wanted it to be open in the middle. And eventually I was able to sort of trick it into thinking that, it's not a complete floor, but it is. So I'm so happy that I was able to get the little garden area in the middle there. Okay, so right now I'm just adding some. Oh, I also apologize for the constant freezing. Not only was I multitasking, I was sort of having a class while I was doing this. I was also contemplating and considering, like the design and what I wanted to do in terms of the floor plan. And then also my game is super laggy. So those three things together means that every now and then there'll be like kind of a pause and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you waiting? What's going on? Probably because I was trying to do too many things at one time. I apologize for that. But when you're busy, you just try to multitask as much as possible. Okay, so I've got the upper floor, and you can see that the round wall is still a full-size wall because the game doesn't allow you to make short walls, half-size walls that are curved. But I think it still turned out nice in the end anyway. I actually kind of like it up there. And, if possible, I might make a rooftop, like a little area for people to go up there, listen to music, or just like enjoy the view because it's such a beautiful neighborhood. And I think I forgot to mention before, but I'm trying to build on lots that I almost never have built on or ever thought about building on. And so that's another reason for the motivation behind this. That's another motivation behind kind of build and why I wanted to share it and all. Okay, so as you can see, we've already put the wallpaper and we're going around adding some of the details. Unfortunately, when I went to do the garden, how can I even explain what went wrong? Oh, at this part, I noticed that this area here wasn't symmetrical. My original idea wasn't for it to be symmetrical, but I changed my mind. So this is me just suggesting it, making it symmetrical. Okay, so here I am putting some features on the exterior. And I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted this to look like. So again, I kind of paused to kind of contemplate. And when I did, I completely forgot to start recording again. So none of the garden, none of the exterior is actually in this video. And I apologize, but you can see that it's done there. We have the little bridge there. We have the little Japanese garden there. And it's quite nice. It actually looks nice. It doesn't look as nice at night as I was hoping, which is kind of disappointing, but it looks nice during the day. And so here I'm just putting the finishing touches on the build just to make it look more complete, even though I'm not going to do any walls, any interior walls, just to make sure that there are some stairs, make sure that there's flooring and wallpaper, so that it looks complete enough for another simmer to just go in and start building as they like. And for the stairs, I would have preferred for it to be a double staircase, but it didn't look right. So the room is too tall. So I decided to just sort of bend it like that. Okay, so we're putting some windows in, and usually when I do a build like this, I almost always make everything kind of monochrome. But this time I thought I could break up the color a little bit by adding that nice brown, bringing that brown from the inside to the outside. And I think it just makes it pop even just a little bit more. I don't know, I'm fascinated by this build. I'm fascinated by the way that it came out. I'm actually quite pleased with it. And I suck at lining things up, as you can see. Okay, so we're just sort of carrying that nice, warm, soft brown color around the interior. And I probably will keep this color scheme. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see once I do the build. All right, so here we have the floor plan, the first floor and the second floor with the little garden peeking through down there. So cute. And you can see the interesting layout of the floor plan on the top floor as well. A few side shots, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like from different angles. Very, very simple garden, very simple features on the outside, but very, very beautiful to look at when you're on the inside. And just a couple of angular shots, isometric kind of shots that you can see. I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video.